for Monday, September 14th, that's 2015 at 7 p.m. First order of business is to review and approve the minutes from the meeting of July 13th, 2015. Do I hear a motion?
I have a correction before they move.
Okay.
I made an error under the FSS on page 1, item 4A2. I said it was noted that one participant has an escrow balance of $50,000. That's not the case at all. 7,500 is
7,500.
In the aggregate, I think the balance is around 50,000 for all participants with balances.
Okay.
50,000, a little bit high.
Oh, yeah. Do I hear a motion to approve with that one correction?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Abstaining? Okay. Let us move on to items of resident and citizen participation. I'm seeing no citizens of Brattleboro, although citizens of another, well, there's one citizen of Brattleboro, welcome. And Nancy, welcome. So business of resident interest. No business of resident interest. Staff reports review, property managers. And on the yellow sheet, and for, we also received the property manager report for August.
Right.
So we have both August and September. Any comments? And the signs for Moore Court and Ledgewood, have they gone up?
They're here.
They're here.
And they will be put up shortly.
And rent collection reports for both August and September. Note that there is one participant who moved out because they bought a house, which is good news.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
And the rent collections are perhaps not where we want them to be.
Not at all where we want them to be.
Not 66 or
Yeah.
70%.
Struggling with some people.
This was also August, and that's not unusual for the month before, well, people are getting ready to go back to school in those two places.
The property manager's report with actions to be taken to address bedbug issues in apartments.
Yes, we have been, we have been dealing with bed bug issues all summer. Actually started this spring, and all through the summer, and it's really gotten to a point where we need to take some very concrete steps. So I have drafted a policy today. It follows advice of our attorney and all of the HUD guidance, some policies from other housing authorities, a lease amendment from another housing authority. And what the policy will say is that for the first time you have bed bugs, we will treat at our expense, but all the expense of preparation is the tenant's, and that's what the HUD rule says. And also, we will treat apartments above, below, and on the sides, and everybody will get notice and all of that. If a resident, and one did this weekend, failed completely to be ready for the bug man when he arrived this morning, we will give you one more chance to get ready. If you fail that time, then we will get it ready at your expense. And we also will consider that a serious lease violation and might begin eviction, depending on the severity and all of that. After the initial treatment, we will do follow-up treatments as required given the infestation that was in your apartment or the apartments around you. If there is another occurrence, and we can pretty much pinpoint it to actions that you took or should have taken, you will pay for the treatment. And the treatment is $1,600. And you will have to do all the cleanup and clean out, et cetera, and we will bill you for everything. So it's pretty tough, and we will, if you are a repeat offender, we will begin an eviction. We actually have some people, we are on their 4th or 5th infestation of bed bugs. There's no reason for them to keep having them, except they don't care. We know exactly what they're doing to bring them in. We've told them exactly what they should not do, and they just keep doing it. They don't care.
And so the training, the property managers are doing the training of how to avoid bringing bed bugs in?
Yes, and we will have along with this, there's a very detailed, all the steps that you have to take to get ready, and there'll be a prevention flyer that we'll have, that will go in the move-in packets for everybody. But it's really expensive. It's sort of gotten totally out of hand, and people just feel like they don't have to do anything. So one of the things that we've written into our policy that's a little different is that with a signed release from the resident for a staff person to contact a case manager or other person, we will contact them. So if somebody's working with a case manager from Seneca, we'll say, and we will ask them, do you have anybody that you're working with? And if so, would you like us to contact them and alert them to this issue that you have so that they might be able to help you with the cleanup and all of that? If they say yes and they sign the release, then we will do that. What has happened is, unfortunately, that everybody is going, oh, not my problem, that's horrible. Yes, I'm their case manager, but I don't have anything to do with bed bugs. That's your problem, you're the landlord. So this policy will be sent to all the service providers. It will be sent wide and far, and everybody will be basically put on notice that this is the way we're going to handle it, and that we will contact case managers and expect them, or whoever there, to work with the individual and help them.
Does that include family members?
Yes, it does.
Individuals. So
Yes,
you're,
yes.
you're looking wide.
Anybody
support.
that person identifies to us as the person that they would like us to contact to give them some help. With a signed release, we will contact them.
Comments, questions?
Bed bugs.
I've got to pick that up.
Yeah, big problem.
Nearly where? Here?
Many places,
Okay.
many places. And just pretty cavalier attitude towards helping us get rid of them, so.
Can they get in and out of an apartment other than being on somebody's body?
Usually they travel in bedding, clothes, things like that. If somebody comes into an apartment with a bag, you know.
So it could be in clothing, it could be in a suitcase,
Yep.
but they're not gonna make it on their own.
Usually
And they're
not.
not gonna crawl across the floor.
Well, I will tell you, Tom, we had, in the past, we had an infestation that was so severe on one of our properties that they were literally walking down the corridor. And that is possible.
Yes,
They,
it can happen,
these people had let it go for somewhere around 9 months.
So part of the tenant's
So-
responsibility is notification.
Immediately notifying us.
Yes.
Immediately. Yeah. And it's too bad. I mean, one problem is that the tenants don't want, you know, they're worried about paying for all of this. They're worried about what's going to have to get thrown away. I totally understand that. We're going to pay for the cost of the heat treatment. That's what we use. But the longer they let it go, the more they're going to have to give up, the more likely they are to lose their mattress, you know. So it's this double edge, and people keep going to the side of not helping us. And then it gets worse and worse and worse, and you know, sometimes it's so bad the staff just walks in the apartment and they just see it. So I'm hoping that with a pretty clear and very strict policy about this, that it will get people's attention and they'll realize that they really have to just tell us.
And realize that it will cost less if they tell you immediately rather than trying to avoid it.
Yes.
Do you inspect for that when you do the inspections?
We do not. We do not. And that has come up, that a lot of the service providers believe that as a matter of course, we inspect for bed bugs. We don't. Our inspections are for really safety, greater safety issues and bed bugs are really, the public health department doesn't consider them a health hazard. They're a nuisance. When they get overwhelming, I think they're a health hazard, but I'm not the public health department. So we do not inspect for bed bugs. We don't inspect for bugs at all. We don't inspect for any bugs. Our inspections are for housing quality and safety standards. So that, and I'm glad you brought it up, because it really is a problem. I mean, the first time this sort of really came up, a lot of service providers said, well, you're the housing authority, you're inspecting the apartments, you should be finding these bugs. And we said, we don't do a bug inspection. I mean, to do a bug inspection would mean we'd be going in and ripping people's mattresses up and tearing all the sheets off. I mean, we're not about to do that to over 300 units when, you know, we maybe have 5 that have this problem. And the tenant knows it because they're itching and, you know, but when you got them.
You know, I know this to be a fact. In some of the finest hotels in New York City, there have been bed bugs.
Yes, it's true.
It's not an income-related thing.
No, it's not.
Or
It's
cleanliness.
not.
Or a cleanliness thing, you know.
No, it is not. And that's the other thing. People really, they feel, and probably rightly, because that they'll be stigmatized, that people will think they're dirty, that, you know, all of these bad things will be ascribed to them if they have, you know, it could be that, you know, Aunt Matilda came in from, Omaha,
in New York.
brought them in with her, it could be something like that.
But that's
So-
the whole idea of cleanliness was certainly the thoughts of previous generations, and we need to see that. We move on to family self-sufficiency report. We're switching colors. In August, it was, or actually July's report is in pink, and August's report is on orange.
Oh, there it is, on the other side.
Pleasure to have Lucy and Lucy Tell and Denise Brown start with first the good stuff, which is nice. And then you made the correction in the minutes on the escrow report. That Lucy talks about escrows continue to grow for those that pay rent on time and that have increased wages, which are several participants in both Section 8 and public housing. So the work they're doing is helping our facilities as well as helping the individual tenants, which is very good. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay,
None for me.
move on to HCV, Housing Choice Voucher, Resident Services Coordinator, and SASH Coordinator. So for September, it's pink. For August, it's yellow, Lorelei. It's nice to read that the residents who came to the Red Clover groundbreaking ceremony were pleased, were nice of the residents to hear the collaboration with all of the agencies that made this all possible. There was only positive discussions on their way home, which was great.
Cool.
And the newsletter, the family feature for August and July. Talked about the feet, Frost, Elliott, Elm Triangle Block Party was a great success. Trying to develop a tenants association at Lynchwood. Has that gone anywhere that you're aware of?
I think they're still working on it.
SASH report? It's in the white. People are getting very creative on newsletters.
Yeah.
The podiatrist is in. I don't know if many people that are on Medicare know that Medicare will pay to get your toenails clipped. And it's, it's not that I can't do it, it's just difficult.
Yeah.
And it gets more difficult with the years, so.
Yeah.
And monitoring that is a very good health monitor.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it, never thought of that.
Mhm. So I'm pleased to see feeling stretched as a caregiver, powerful tools for caregivers. Since certainly, even though many of our residents need care, I think many more of them may also be giving care at the same time.
Just one comment on the SASH report. They mentioned that DocSite, our electronic medical record, was suddenly taken offline, went dark. And in fact, that is true. We found out on Wednesday that it was shutting down the following Monday. So all our SASH coordinators had to take these incredible tenant records that are all electronic and move them to a secure site, either a secure drive or a thumb drive or whatever. And Christine and Lori were just fabulous. Ours were all done. We have over 200 participants. They were completely done by Thursday, and Christine coordinated all the other SASH sites, working with Cathedral Square. So all of the sites within our region were completely done by Friday, and all that information is now secure and waiting for the new doc site.
And it was shut down because it wasn't HIPAA compliant?
No, it was shut down because the company that owns DocSite had a falling out over negotiations with the state of Vermont and said, we're done. We're pulling the plug.
Well, congratulations for Christine.
And Lori.
And Lori.
And the rest of our,
Yes.
but it was great. And I was like a nervous Nellie.
With good reason. Housing Choice Voucher Program, Shelter Plus Care, transitions to housing. Blue sheet for September. So 144 vouchers leased and 10 currently searching. We're able to lease up 5 for September and absorbed 2. 1 voucher briefing remaining, and anticipate another 2 to 3 more lease ups for October. Delay in leasing up, that there aren't apartments available in Brattleboro. As you said, the vacancy rate was 1%.
It does take a while to find apartments. And many people are well served by David's great relationships with them.
Care.
Total of 27. Great.
Which is more than a while ago. And transitions to housing. 8 participant families, all approximately the 1-year mark of this 2-year program. So 6 of the 8 families are doing well, on target, and engaged. The family that was terminated for non-compliance, I'm assuming that it's not our responsibility to know what happens to them, or what kind of follow-up is there on that?
Yeah, David and the case manager know where the family's going and do follow-up with them. In this case, they knew exactly where they went. I think David had a conversation with the landlord involved. So they're out of this particular program, and how much connection there is with the case manager is up to that agency.
The Section 8 Management Assessment Program, I don't see a document on that.
We didn't, well, we got a letter. It's in David's September report, in the, right up at the front. He says, I have been working with our HUD field rep to strategize. We did not reach a threshold of 95% or greater on utilization. And I'll let Mary describe that in more detail.
Based on the amount of money that HUD will give us for Section 8 vouchers, we had, in the period that they looked at, which I guess was calendar 2014, we did not use 95% of it. So we were under that 95% threshold. And I always remember the previous HUD secretary, Sean, whatever his name was, at Donovan, at the housing conference, saying that Section 8 is sort of a binge and purge program, because you don't know in advance how much you get. You can't over-lease because they don't give you extra money if you need it. They say, oh, find it someplace else. And no, you can't use public housing funds. And on top of that, we had sequestration, and which is coming back to haunt us. So we had cut back to, stay within those guidelines. So, and it takes a while to catch up, as you see. It's every month 1 or 2 people drop off, and it takes people probably 5 or 6 months to lease up sometimes. So we're getting there, I think is what David is saying.
Section 8 is like trying to turn the Titanic quickly. It really is. I mean, we have a small program, and when the number goes down, it takes a long time for that number to come back, and there's all kinds of moving parts. And we just got caught in the middle of the downswing. So David wrote a great plan, offered to have,
Jen?
is it weekly or?
Monthly.
Monthly calls with our HUD field specialist, Jen, who's the man at the groundbreaking.
Yes.
She was thrilled to do that. He's gotten very involved in some of their analytics, and I think we'll be in much better shape.
And property redevelopment management report in the grant. And the balcony doors for Samuel Elliott Apartments.
Well, people have been asking me all along, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen?
So, the contract has been signed. And
Well, that's progress.
that is
That is
progress.
progress.
So, as you can see from Jack's report, the doors will be ordered, and they expect the first shipment in mid-October.
Any reason I couldn't post this?
No, I think that would be fine. He wrote it with thinking that we might just post it. So go right ahead.
Very good. And on the back, he talks about work on the swale between Red Clover Commons and the Wilson Woods.
Right.
And indeed, we have photographs showing that work.
Yes, yeah.
The drainage issue is a little,
So this is basically a kind of a water runoff separation thing.
There is a swale there, and it's, by title, really is the town's, and we've agreed to work with the town to improve it, to get it to work right.
Well, good.
So, that's what we're doing.
yes.
As long as it works, it should work right, right?
Well, that's what we're, We hope.
It's a goal.
And in August's report, the Leading Age magazine, Innovations in Housing Plus Services,
Oh, yeah.
rely on expanding staff roles. Just highlighting.
Did you want to have that one?
I think you have,
Probably ought to, this probably ought to.
Towards the back,
Yeah.
there's some
Here it is.
photos. And we sent it because we talked about SASH and interviewed Christine Hazard. Great. Page 6.
and check listing report for both months. And so Red Clover Commons project status. We have photographs,
Mm-hmm.
HUD approvals.
HUD approvals, groundbreaking.
Yes.
I believe that our affordable housing program grant application has been submitted. All the studies that we were waiting for have been done, and the next step in the Melrose process will be to gather Rod and myself, Jack, that small group, and go over the studies. And Kathy Byer said after the groundbreaking, she was now prepared to get on with phase 2 and Melrose, so.
Good.
that's great.
Any comments, questions from the board? I just want to comment on how much I appreciated all of the work that the staff did to make the groundbreaking. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they really did a great job.
I told my family that I helped Senator Leahy dig a hole.
I hope they were impressed. And what did they think about that?
Lovely. We are work session, old, new, and other business. June 30th financial statement review with Mary.
I'm having enough time to try to address any questions.
I'm impressed with maintenance expenses running under budget.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that always makes me nervous. But it's not winter, so that helps.
Yes. You have written, unfortunately, we had a number of bed bug infestations that will hurt our bottom line in the second quarter. So it's very clear how important it is that your new policy is implemented.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Any questions?
I just would add that we submitted to HUD a revision of three of our capital fund programs so that we could put more into operations, and they were all went through just fine.
Good.
So that will help.
Any other questions, comments? It would be useful to firm up who is doing check signing. I'm doing September. Pat, you're doing in October. We need somebody for November and December.
I'll do November.
Thank you.
And I'll do December.
Thank you.
And on that subject, I have an array of resolutions and off-site signature cards for everybody to sign on 6 accounts. Twice per account, 12 signatures.
If we've been doing check signing, we are very good at it.
Yes, thank you.
So, want to do that now, Mary, or wait until the end of the
I
meeting?
can wait till the end.
Okay. I want to confirm the date and time of the November annual meeting.
Yes,
Originally set for the 9th at noon, some concession about changing to the 16th, but the change is not needed now.
right.
So we are on for November 9th at noon.
Well, I just wanted to check because the date has gone back and forth, and I didn't know what if people had changed it in their calendars, and I just wanted to, I actually had changed it in my calendar, so I was like, oh, I gotta make sure that everybody, we're all on the same date.
The 9th, right?
The 9th is
Okay.
fine.
That's October?
This is November. I
November?
think we originally had said the 9th, and then because we thought we were going to be doing something with this strategic plan, we moved it out a week, but now that we're not, we could go back and just keep it at the 9th.
Mine never moved.
Yours never moved, all
I
right.
did move.
Yours
It's-
did,
I'm removing it and moving it.
and the 9th is all right,
The 9th is
Yeah.
all right.
and Bill, is the 9th good with you as well, and Pat?
Yes.
Yours, yeah.
All right, then we will move it to the 9th.
And
Great.
it is at Melrose.
Noon, yes, at Melrose.
At Melrose. Because we have, upon occasion, had it in downtown Brattleboro, but we are not doing that. We are having it at Melrose.
Mhm.
How much, can't even talk. Basically, we should have it in Melrose because we might not have many more there.
Yeah,
So,
Is
Well-
there a possibility that we may have more information about Melrose at that time?
we might, yes.
Because that would be appropriate
Yeah.
to pass that on.
We had discussed focusing it more on resident associations and resident work. So I wanted to confirm the date and time so we could get the service folks working
Good.
with residents. Thank you.
And need to enter executive session to discuss a matter where premature public information would be detrimental to the organization and the personal matter. Do I hear a move to go into executive session?
I'll move.
Thank you. Second?
we'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstaining? We're in executive session.
Okay, great. Thank you.